I'm still stunned that
Thank
somebody who probably isn't, Heather, now it is Laura Ingraham. Spent some considerable time with Mitt Romney of late, and I never thought he was getting in. I thought his wife said, no way, we've had it. I thought his family would vote it down. Are you shocked we're this far along, Laura Ingraham?
No, I think, look, he was very engaged when I saw him. It was a private luncheon, just two ski buddies, sharing soup and cocoa.
Where were you?
In Deer Valley, in Utah.
Well, how fancy.
Where it was 20 below zero.
Okay, so what was the temperature read then on 2016 when it comes to the governor?
Well, I don't know what he's going to do, and I would be careful if people just assume that he's going to run. I don't know if he's going to run or not. I will say this: he was up on everything, on every domestic issue, on every foreign policy issue. He wasn't someone who was kind of just hanging back, having fun and not clearly engaged on, every topic that I could think of. And so that was a little surprising. You thought, like, in this time where he was in retirement from politics, he would have pulled back. But he seemed very engaged to me and very upbeat. He was very relaxed.
He talked to John Sununu, Judd Gregg. His whole band is getting back together. This guy is in.
I don't know. I'm not going to say he's in. I don't know if he is or not. I think we should just watch it all play out.
Sure.
That's right. All right. Well, we watched what played out in Paris over the weekend. 40 world leaders there. A sign of unity, somebody missing, our president or our vice president. Yesterday, the White House admitted, the press took him to the woodshed, and they said, you're right, we should have sent somebody higher profile. Laura, this morning, Politico is reporting the reason we didn't send somebody was because the White House blew it. They didn't realize it was that big a deal that was about to happen in Paris, and so nobody asked the president.
Well, this is another example of the Obama administration playing a passive role in world affairs, taking a back seat to other world leaders who are making a stand, standing up. You know it's bad when the French socialist president says we're at war with radical Islam, but it's like pulling teeth to get the State Department spokesman, Defense Department, or the White House to say much of anything like that. So it does not surprise me at all. I think, look, then what they should have done is sent someone really high profile over to that rally, like Jay-Z or Beyonce. That would have actually been a much that would have taken a lot of courage and sent a real signal to the world that we're serious finally.
Yeah. So the president was not there, was not present. Doesn't seem as though the president is there yet either when it comes to being specific about radical Islam and labeling it as such. Did you hear Marie Harr from the State Department trying to explain to Martha MacCallum? Take a listen to this, and then I'd love your reaction.
Well, it's not hard to say, but it's not the only kind of extremism we face. So we're going to focus on all the different kinds of extremism with a heavy focus on people who do this in the name of Islam. We would say falsely in the name of Islam, but there are other forms of extremism. There are people out there who want to kill other people in the name of a variety of causes.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I mean, any world leader, I'm sorry, watching that and thinking we're all that serious at this point, I mean, God bless her, but she just doesn't seem like a serious person. They want to equate extremism of all sorts to what happened in Paris. That means what? Tea Party extremists, anti-abortion rights activist extremists, returning veterans from overseas who might have a grudge against the government. Thank you. That is like just what Janet Napolitano and her early edict on countering violent extremism, that we have to be careful of all these single issue groups. This is what they have done, guys, from the very beginning. All of it's the same. Radical Islam is no different from being, frankly, an activist conservative, which sometimes you might have to send the IRS to quiet down or stall.
Yeah, tell the cop who just got tell the cop who in Brooklyn who got an axe in the head from an Islamic extremist that there's other variety that we should look out for.
Right, or a beheading in Oklahoma, or Fort Hood. It's all workplace violence, or we're countering violent extremism. We can never be countering Islamic jihadism because that would take away from Obama's myriad pronouncements about how Islam is always the religion of peace, and Islam is this and that. And there are great Muslims out there, but we got a real problem, and we need a reformation in the Muslim world. And if it doesn't happen, more bad stuff is going to happen to innocent people, and that's what happened in Paris.
You're right. Bob Beckel, on the 5 had a soundbite where he essentially defended the president for not going. We're going to play that, and then we want to get your reaction to it. Listen to this.
I think that march was a foolish waste of time.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. Why they talk about leadership. Well, Barack Obama's got his Air Force in the air bombing ISIS. None of those 40 countries do. He's the one who's killing radical Islamists, and he doesn't use the word. You're right. Should he have gone maybe after all this turmoil has gone up? But, you know, the idea that these guys can perform a terror act like that, and it would gather all these world leaders to the place together in a symbolic gesture that would get you nothing except more terror. Barack Obama, before the rest of these guys had the guts, and they still have the guts, to join a coalition to take on ISIS, he did. That's leadership.
Laura?
That's leadership. Okay, I mean, I guess if you think it's leadership to go in 2009 all across Europe and do an apology tour for the United States, talk about how you're a citizen of the world, how we're turning the page, how we're all going to work together, and then you choose not to go to this rally. I don't know what you were doing. We were watching football. I don't know if we were. I have no idea what he was doing. But there's always something else to be done rather than to show leadership to the rest of the world. Is it the only thing that matters? No, it isn't. I think Bob's right to this extent. If the president had been seen as a true leader, immediately reacting to this, calling it what it was, saying we stand with you, and then defining what the threat is, then I don't think many people would have really cared, right? But it's both things happening at once.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. But by the way, what Bob does not point out is we do have some allies who stand by us through thick and thin. Poland, Britain, and Australia in everything.
And Canada.
And Canada,
True.
absolutely.
True. You know, a real leader did emerge last night, by the way, at the Golden Globes. Did you see Michael Keaton's speech on, I mean, his
That's
life
great.
lessons there. We just have to keep sharing them because it's a gift for all. Watch.
Right.
In the household in which I was raised, the themes were pretty simple. Work hard, don't quit, be appreciative, be thankful, be grateful, be respectful. I don't ever remember a time when my father didn't work 2 jobs. When my mother wasn't saying the rosary or going to mass or trying to take care of 7 kids in a rundown farmhouse.
He grew up poor. His family worked hard. So did he. He's grateful for everything he has in his life. What a message.
That really reset what was the typical self-congratulatory award show in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
And even Tina Fey was kind of joking about it, like, we're all so great, we're great, you're courageous, no, you're brave. And he gets up there and he resets it. The American middle class, the working poor in this country, have gratitude, be kind to other people, show reverence for that which deserves reverence. And the reference to the rosary, I don't think I've ever heard the rosary referenced in an award show before.
Absolutely not.
So I love that moment. I wish we had more of them, and I loved Birdman. It was a great film.
Right.
So good for Michael Keaton.
But nothing was better than Night Shift. That's when Michael Keaton first
love
person on the
Mr.
scene.
Mom.
You're right.
Great
Absolutely.
guy.
That's right.
All right, Laura.
Good
A
stuff.
multiplicity.
We look forward to having you every Tuesday. She's going to go do her radio show. Listen up in about 45 minutes all across the country. Laura,
Thanks,
thank you very
guys.
much. Have a great week.